moving that jab up and down. And then when you go downstairs, take that downstairs, come up with the left hook. It's gonna be open, because it's gonna fall down into it. Anytime you jab down low, just keep trying to come over the top.
Or like you could say, hey, you know what? I can't beat that Mayweather style. I was too young, but look, I did it now against Crawford.
I forget Mayweather a long time ago. This is different for me, you know? I lost that day and that's it. I learned a lot.
So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was younger.
When Canelo learns that Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather sparred during training camp, he responds angrily. He claims that Crawford has consistently treated him disrespectfully and that things have now grown more personal, Canelo feels. Singled out because he thinks Terence is attempting to minimize or devalue him. This conflict will no longer be about business, he threatens.
Tell me a little bit about that. Did things get a little bit personal now?
Yeah, a little bit more personal because, you know, I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that. And then he tried to, maybe Turki Al-Ashi told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So and he tried to like he walking me back, and that's why I pushed him. And you know, like I say, don't fuck with me.
Terence Crawford has expressed his opinion that Canelo Álvarez's resume is not as remarkable as some people think it is. Crawford believed that when the so-called top names on Canelo's record faced him, they were already at the height of their abilities. He highlights opponents who were obviously deteriorating when Canelo faced them, including Sergey Kovalev, Miguel Cotto, and Shane Mosley. Crawford also believes that Floyd Mayweather, the only living great, was a clear superior over Canelo in their bout. According to Crawford, these factors undermine the claim that Canelo has a higher status in the sport as a result of his career. He claims that Canelo frequently ignores the caliber of his opponents in an effort to discredit him, and he feels betrayed by Canelo's rejection of his own achievements.
Things about Canelo's resume, but I won't. You know, I wanna, you know, pay homage to the fighters that he fought. And if he don't want to pay homage to the fighters I fought, if he think they nobodies, then come fight time, then I wonder what they're going to say after I beat him.
Although he recognizes Canelo's inherent size advantage. Promoter Eddie Hearn does not rule out Crawford's prospects. He believes that even a more formidable opponent like Canelo is threatened by Crawford's self-assurance and laser-like intensity. Highlights how boxing results may be influenced by one's beliefs and mentality. He sees a genuine chance for an upset with Crawford's discipline and resolve. Hearn adds that, although stature matters, Crawford's command of rhythm, tempo, and distance may make up for that difference.
Not for him, like not against him, sorry, for him. Like he's so, I think he has no doubt that he beats Canelo Álvarez.
Of course.
I really like Terence, by the way. I think he's a great fighter. But I have to say, like, tell me his major significant wins.
Well, obviously Errol Spence.
Yeah, but come on.
No, but he beat a guy who was in the top 5 pound for pound, and he destroyed him. That's really never happened.
No, I agree.
In the history.
I agree. I mean, look, he was coming off, you know, some eye problems, but
nobody was saying that when he was beating
we're giving that credit.
And Ugas.
Tell me more.
I'm just saying.
I don't know, but
that's a big win. Now,
keep going.
Your guy from the UK, who he stopped him, what, in the 5th round, was it?
Kell Brook. Finished by then. Yeah, go on, keep going.
Okay, he stopped somebody that nobody's ever really can hurt.
Well,
Sean Porter.
I mean, yeah, but that was about 8 years before, and Errol Spence stopped.
That wasn't. What do you mean?
Yeah, when he beat Sean Porter.
No, that was in 2023.
Who?
Terence Crawford beat Sean Porter.
No, I'm talking about Kell Brook against Sean Porter.
No, I was talking about Bud. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
But he stopped him, though. Nobody's ever able to really hurt Sean. And
By the
he
way,
stopped.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
That was a great
this
win.
is like an open.
And he didn't have a lot of names at 140, but Postal and all those guys, those are good fighters. They weren't big names. Just like Bam, he doesn't have the great. He doesn't have a whole lot of great names. Just like
Strada,
in a way, he does have two great fights. But in a way,
by the way, he's one of my favorite
doesn't
fighters.
have a bunch of names.
John Ryder, who has sparred with Canelo, provides a well-informed perspective on the challenges of taking on the Mexican champion. He admits that Canelo's physical presence is intimidating, and that Crawford would have a difficult time making the necessary weight rise. Despite this, Ryder thinks Crawford is the only person who possesses the mental and physical skills necessary to meet the task. He highlights Crawford's versatility and skill set, suggesting that his technical mastery may make up for his physical limitations.
Can he go up 2 divisions? A lot of people in his camp believe that he's even going to stop him, but yeah, what's your thoughts?
If there's any man that could do it, it would be Terence Crawford, but I just think the sheer size of Canelo is going to be too much on the line.
So do you think size will be too much? I mean, you were in there with Canelo, you landed good shots and he took them, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent, but I think the size will be the factor on the night and he'd just be too big, too strong.
Terence. Crawford has planned his approach methodically. He describes 2 strategies for defeating Canelo. The first is to put pressure on him, mess with his rhythm, and make a lot of noise. The second is to adopt a more methodical approach, following Mayweather's strategy of deft footwork, counterattack, and defense. Although Crawford acknowledges that he will not be as large as Mayweather was in his heyday, he is assured of his own quickness and timing, considers himself a hybrid who can adapt to any style and combine technical genius with aggressiveness. He may be able to solve the Canelo dilemma with such adaptability.
It's 2 things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You know, you can either try to push them back, you know, because 9 times out of 10, a strong fighter not used to going back. You know, so it kind of fucks them up in the head, you know. Yeah. Or you can just box them because some of them just slower than others because they got flat feet, and they just looking to load up on certain shots.
Now, Crawford's definitely right here. There's 2 ways to beat a pressure fighter like Canelo. Either you put the pressure back on him, which is where guys like Triple G and Bivol had success, or you use your superior skills and footwork on the outside, which is how Floyd Mayweather won. Now, Crawford, he can't use the pressure approach because he's not as physically dominant as guys like Golovkin or Bivol. You know, Bud is a welterweight or junior middleweight jumping up. He doesn't have the size to push Canelo back. Now, the outside boxing approach, that is definitely Crawford's best chance against Canelo. You know, he is right. Canelo does struggle to cut off the ring at times. We saw that in the Skull fight. And he does load up on single shots now. But at the same time, Crawford is not the same pure boxer that Floyd Mayweather was. You know, Mayweather rarely got hit in that shell. And his form of countering, you know, a pull counter, for example, was, I'm not going to get touched and then I'll make you pay. Whereas Crawford's style of counterpunching is different. Bud will take one to throw 2 or 3 back. And he can't do that against Canelo because of the size and power difference. If Bud takes a clean right hand to throw back an uppercut or a hook, he's either going to get dropped or he's going to end up on his bike like Jermell Charlo. So while I do agree Crawford does have the superior skill set in this fight, but because he doesn't have the size to push Canelo back, or the defense of someone like Mayweather to stay perfect for 12 rounds on the outside, I do think Canelo's size and power will make the difference in this fight. And that's why I like Canelo to win.
Rising feeling throughout the fight world is reflected in Joe Rogan's assessment of the contest. He notes that although Canelo is still at the top, his speed and stamina have been declining. Crawford, meanwhile, keeps honing his skills and ruling several categories. Rogan thinks that since Crawford is at the top of his game right now, the timing could work in his benefit. He emphasizes Crawford's pound-for-pound record and believes the fight is far more competitive than it would seem.
So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is a more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was younger.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Álvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win. He's going to have to box a brilliant fight.
If Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Álvarez. Why do you say that? Same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. He's got to figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs, and then get out.
The renowned boxing analyst Jim Lampley puts the bout in a larger perspective. According to him, the fight is a clash between two fighters who are motivated by pride and tradition. Lampley contends that both combatants are characterized by more than simply their physical characteristics. Notwithstanding the apparent size disparity, they both have a strong will to excel and a refusal to give up on any task.
Crawford is going to fight Canelo because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
Without hesitation, Max Kellerman declares Terence Crawford the current boxing pound-for-pound champion. Though he thinks Canelo's best days are over, he appreciates what he has accomplished in the past. Kellerman claims that Crawford has been performing flawlessly lately, dominating every opponent regardless of weight class. In the meanwhile, Canelo has appeared more vulnerable to defeat from opponents like John Ryder and Dimitri Bivol.
You know who's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world? Bud Crawford. Apologies to the monster and Usyk. Bud Crawford has my vote for best pound-for-pound. Who was the best pound-for-pound before Bud? Canelo Álvarez, universally recognized that way. But it's not just these two guys, the last two best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
Eddie Atlas presents a complex viewpoint. He describes Canelo as a complete and well-trained fighter, expressing his appreciation for his abilities. Atlas, however, adopts a different tone while discussing Crawford. He calls Crawford unique, a description he saves for fighters who possess exceptional ring intelligence and intuition. Atlas highlights Crawford's capacity for quick changes in the middle of a bout, his composure under duress, and his merciless finishing skills. Canelo is terrific, he says, but Crawford may be on a level only the sport's rarest talents can reach.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class. Can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Daniel Jacobs, who fought Canelo and saw Crawford up close, offers insightful commentary. He claims that, although both boxers are quick, Crawford's quickness is distinct. It is more erratic and explosive. Jacobs adds that Crawford has an advantage that even Canelo might not be able to predict because of his ability to change positions and throw from strange angles. Jacobs acknowledges that after considering the qualities of both fighters, he would choose Crawford as the winner because of his timing, acuity, and ring IQ.
Sparring, but I had at least over 15 years of knowing him, amateur, professional. I've seen where he started. I've seen how he's gotten better over time, but I also just know what resides in him. He's a dog, he's a beast, and he's out to prove something too. So I'm excited about this fight. Canelo obviously is self-explanatory. There's really no need to go down the rabbit hole when it comes to him, but I do see this being as a 50-50 fight. But if I was a betting man, I would bet on Crawford. But also, too, you can't count Canelo out. I mean, would go in, I'm assuming, as the favorite, which is rightfully so.
A lot of people say that version that you fought was probably the best, Canelo Álvarez. And since then, obviously, naturally, he's slightly declined. Yeah. Do you see this decline that people talk about?
Well, I can see in increments because Canelo, which I've always said is an amazing, legendary fighter, but he fights in spurts. So sometimes it takes for the opponent to actually initialize him him giving the best. When he was faced with me, the opposition that I had and what I was giving him, it was just a lot. Whether it was boxing, whether it was coming forward, but most importantly, it was the punches and bunches. And so he was forced to either stand there, wait for the right time, or be combative and go back at it. So I think that's what Crawford may have to do. Push the pressure, make Canelo fight, or maybe just play it safe, win on points.
A different approach in terms of crafting a plan and going into camp?
No, not really. You know, we know the type of fighter Canelo is. So, as a fighter, you mentally prepare for things like that. You know, and then as a trainer, just making sure he's sharp. You know, his mental game is sharp. His physical game is sharp. Strength-wise, nutrition is everything. Got to, like I said, hitting on all cylinders. So by the time you step in that ring, it's easy picking.